Good morning. The question I'm addressing today is in Architectural 2012, how you can accurately place lights. And of course, being a Chief Architect Premier user, the first thing I thought of was just to go to Electrical Tools. Where's Electrical Tools? Hang on a second. I need to fix this so I can find stuff. I'm going to go over here to, oh, it doesn't have edit preferences. Never mind. I'll just have to tough it out. There it is. Okay. All right, there's a recessed light fixture. And being a Chief Premier user, I just assumed I could go over here to the Dimension Tools and dimension to electric items. Of course, that doesn't work. But you have that in Pro and you have it in Chief Premier, but not in Architectural. Okay, so there's always some way to solve a problem. I'm going to just draw some CAD lines here under CAD Tools. I draw a line tool, and we'll draw a couple of lines. And what is it? I'm just going to draw a grid. You can see that these CAD lines are dimensionable. Have a little control problem. The mouse that I've been using for the last 10 years finally wore out, and they don't sell them anymore, so I'm using a different mouse, so please forgive me. I'm just going to use these 4 grid points, and I can use the automatic dimensions, but I prefer, when I'm laying out electric, to use these manual dimensions. I'm going to click on this little point here in the dimension string, and that'll allow me to create a dimension point. I'm going to do it again. This takes a little practice, but you click on the dimension, and then wherever you click on the dimension, this extra little icon, let's say, will pop up, and then you can left click and drag on that and create another dimension point. So, okay, I got that string there. That, like I say, that does take a little practice. Now, that'll locate these vertical lines. I'm going to do the same thing with this. Now, you could use the regular dimension tool, but it has a tendency to dimension to all kinds of points that I'm not interested in dimensioning to. So that's the reason I'm using this end to end, because I can kind of, it saves me a few clicks. So I'm going to extend this one down to here, and now I've got my 2 vertical lines located. Now, these dimension points are to the outside, which isn't all that useful when you're laying out lights on the inside, because the carpenters can't measure to the outside. So let's change these dimension points to the inside and put them on the surface of the sheetrock. Like that. Yeah. Okay. One other thing, I just don't like these default arrows. So I'm going to go over here to Edit Default Settings, Dimensions, and change those to my favorite arrow. I don't use Architectural very often, so I haven't changed the defaults to suit myself like I did. And oh, they don't even have that arrow type. My goodness, how do you guys with Architectural live? Forget I said that. We'll use that arrow type. You do have some choices. It's not the choices I would want. Okay, I'm going to set this interior line here to 4 feet. For you guys that are new, let me hit the escape key. You click on the object you want to move, and you click on the dimension string, which would control the movement of that object. I can click over here. You can see how the cursor turns to a hand. But I want to click over here and set that to 4 feet. Okay, and then I want to set this line here 4 feet from the edge, and this one. Once you get this down, it's very quick, and now I can grab this object, and it should snap to the. I haven't tried this. Let me move this dimension string out of the way a little bit, so you can differentiate the dimension strings from the CAD lines themselves. I'll click on the light fixture, and the light fixture should have a tendency to want to snap to cross points on CAD lines. And again, this takes a little practice, but I just saw that it kind of snapped into place, so I just turned loose of the mouse. I'm going to press the Shift key and click just to the other side and get the again, that takes a little practice. So I've got both lights selected. They're both on the points I wanted. I'm going to hit the copy and paste in place. And the way that tool works is those copies are now on top of the other, are sharing the same space as the original, and I can just grab them. And of course, they don't snap as a pair there, but that's close enough. And so that's my take on how you can, in architectural, you can lay this stuff out. I don't want to rain on your parade, but like in Pro and Chief, you can just click on a light fixture, and there's a tool called Transform Replicate where I can just say how many copies and in what direction, and along what angle, and so forth. But this is the way we used to do it back in the old days in Chief Premiere before we had all those tools, and that's what you still have in architectural, and it works perfectly fine and just takes a few more clicks and is perfectly reliable. And then once you've got this grid laid out and your lights in place, and you can, I suppose, if you wanted to save this for the electrician, you'd probably want to just save as a copy of the plan with this in there, and then make another copy of the same plan, and then remove these dimensions and lines if you didn't want, Again, in Pro and in Premiere, I could put these on their own layer. Well, not in Pro. In Premiere, I could put them on their own layer, like an electrical layer, and turn them on and turn them off. But that's why Chief Premiere is more expensive than architectural. But anyway, I hope this helps you. It's perfectly workable, and that's what I suggest that you do.